And he's developed a solution that uses satellite radio. We provide environmental management information, information on seeds, market pricing, water and soil information, livestock, securing land, property rights, microfinance, and health information. Now, how do you support something like this since these people are poor? How do you support this? Well, here's his business model. He actually produces, edits, and provides programming online. Advertisers want to reach these markets with information on seeds and fertilizers and so forth. So they actually, an advertising model is sufficient to make this a very sustainable business. And he uses two-way radio, so as you saw in the mecca there in this, can I go way back? Oops, there it is. Yeah, he goes out into the field and actually talks to people, so gets, in a sense, it's user-centered content that's developed. We have just started a 3-year initiative on clean energy. We think that there are major breakthroughs, that there's very scalable businesses that are going to happen at the base of the pyramid in clean energy. It's an area where we happen to know something about. In Silicon Valley, there's a lot of clean energy venture money, in the billions of dollars there. We're looking at off-grid power and light, second-generation biofuels, energy-saving devices, and whole value chain networks. We'll have 12 clean tech enterprises in the classes matriculating in August. I want to give you 3 examples of enterprises that we have worked with. Tough Stuff, Grassroots Action for Social Participation, and Power. The latter 2 are in India. The first one is in Africa. And I have a little video I'd like to show you on Tough Stuff. It's just about 2.5 minutes.
Here in Silicon Valley, we support a lot of things, but nothing we have to offer is more valuable than knowledge. As NBC Bayer's Dharma Thomas shows us, when there's a chance to gain some of that knowledge, people will come from all over the world just to get it.
In the building of microfinance institutions,
think of it as a 2-week-long graduate level course on doing good while doing business.
this sort of thinking,
It's Santa Clara University's Global Social Benefit Incubator. A dozen social entrepreneurs, as they're called, from all corners of the world have gathered to learn from some of Silicon Valley's best about how to make their businesses better.
I think there's a number of things that I'm hoping to be better at.
Andrew Chancellor is in from Madagascar. His business, Tough Stuff, is all about bringing light and power to some of the poorest people in the world. Tough Stuff makes a flexible and durable solar panel, which powers an LED light as well as charges batteries and cell phones. Chancellor says in a place like Madagascar, where the average family makes barely $300 a year, more than 100 of that is spent on oil, candles, and battery charging. He says his products do it all for just $20.
It's like giving somebody $100 a year, each family $100 a year. You multiply that up by 1 million times, and what you have is almost a new aid program.
We're going to be providing household-level solar panels.
But that aid program doesn't get off the ground without a little aid for itself first.
I want to see people being lifted out of poverty, and that's what we're going to be able to do together.
And so at the end of their 2 weeks of learning, each entrepreneur gets 20 minutes for pitching. In this audience could be an investor for Tanwell's program, someone with deep pockets and a light mind.
There's a difference between success and significance. Silicon Valley, there must be so many people out here that live very successful lives, that have been financially hugely successful. And now they're saying, how can I be significant? What can I do to make a difference in this world?
Tanwell thinks he has an answer to that question. Now he just needs someone else to see the light so that millions of others can as well. In Santa Clara, Dharma Thomas, NBC Bay Area News.
So, with his British accent, every time he says success, I think he's saying sex. I'm not sure. So, now I know something about my perverse way of but he's a success and significance. But what's really amazing is we have 30 mentors that we have. I couldn't afford to pay any of them for an hour. They have that are serial entrepreneurs, and they come back year after year after year. So in my 20 years at Santa Clara, this is the most significant engagement I've seen on this campus, on our campus. And it's kind of fun sometimes, just a brief digression. Occasionally we get a CEO. He just doesn't have his, typically they're guys, but we have probably half a dozen women in there, or 8 maybe in the mentor corps. Doesn't have the head screwed on right. And I sometimes say, it takes such great delight in sitting down with the CEO and saying, you know, I hate to tell you this, but you're fired. Because I think it came up in this morning's panel, you know, this issue of values congruity, the alignment around values is really, really crucial. And so we have been able, I think, to bring together people who really share a passion for this. This is the solution. It's a combination of LEDs, 90% more efficient than even compact fluorescent lighting, a low-cost flat solar panels imported from China, so there's global sourcing of technology and cell phone, and there's also a battery storage system here. Putting this whole thing together, price point of less than $20. It's a very profitable enterprise. They're able to attract venture capital for this. Here's how the distribution is a huge issue on these, and here's how they go about it. They have a master distributor in Madagascar. Supplies come from China. They work through microfinance institutions with micro enterprises, business in the box, and they work through NGOs to provide distribution. Their target market is 2,500,000 households in Madagascar. This one is in India. This is a clean cooking stove. It's one of the better ones. We've seen probably dozens of cooking stoves. This is one of the better ones, I think, because it uses, it's a replicable design, and you can get costs way down, which I'll show you in a minute. It's environmentally very sound. It has a tremendous savings in terms of time and number of trees that have to be cut down. And in particular, the worst air pollution of the planet is, of course, in homes which are using these unclean cooking stoves. So it has a major, major reduction. University of Berkeley just won a prize for a monitoring device now that will enable the tracking of carbon credits empirically, so that this should become eligible for carbon credits as well. Here's how the distribution system works. The designs are $12 to $20 price points depending on the cooking stove. The GRASP is the NGO. They work through self-help groups. They sell these things at $24. The self-help groups sell them for $26 to the end users. They have tie-ups with microcredit institutions, so they have soft loans. The self-help groups become the after-sales service, and GRASP does all the marketing and promotion. So you see here's a whole kind of solution to scale this enterprise. This one is really interesting. Won the Draper Richards Prize. I can't remember, several $100,000 of investment from Draper Richards. This enterprise is growing in India at the rate of 2 new villages per month by the end of this year.